So Barcelona played yesterday in a very rare Monday night football in La Liga. Usually it never happens. Usually Madrid or Barca don't play in those Monday night games, but Barca played yesterday away from home at Estadio Montilivi at Girona. They lost 2-1 in a game which had everything. A game which had a lot of drama, a lot of controversy, a lot of talking points, a lot that we need to break down, that we need to talk about, whether that is player related, whether that is penalty related, whether that is manager related, whether that's tactic related, whether that's the fact that Girona had more XG than Barcelona, and whether, of course, Girona's second goal should have stood, should have been disallowed. We will talk about everything in this video. This is what we've learned from yesterday's game between Barcelona and Girona. Before we get to the first talking point, make sure you're all right now. Like the video, subscribe to the second channel if you haven't already done so. We are on 26k. Shout out everyone who subscribed. Let's get it to 30k, road to 30k. And of course, comment your own thoughts, your own takeaways, your own perspective about the game yesterday. So Barcelona played with this 11. Very similar-ish, except for two changes which they made. One of them being Ferran into the starting 11, and one of them being Rafinha coming back from injury, playing his first game, only lasted 63 minutes. But the first half was very much both-sided. The first half, both teams could have scored one or two goals. Both teams had their own moments. Both teams had their own chances. Whether that is Barcelona, of course, missing the penalty, which we'll come to. Whether that is Rafinha hitting the woodwork. Whether that's Rafinha having another second moment, which just went wide. Whether that is Ferran having his moments. Whether that is Girona as well. Look at Girona. Girona had two massive saves. Two big chances which they created. Three, to be fair. One of them wasn't even counted. But three massive chances. Whether that is the final pass missing or whether that's Juan Garcia making incredible saves, which he did throughout the whole game, which we'll talk about in terms of player performances. But the first half was very much both-sided. Both teams had chances. Both teams create a lot of space for each other, whether that's defensively, which is something which you look at Barcelona continuously, something which they do every single game. Because I feel like now for opponents, everyone now knows how to attack Barcelona. Everyone now knows how to create chances against Barcelona. It's literally go on the right-hand side, go on the left-hand side, the ball over the top, expose the high line, either the cutback, either the cross, either the shot. There's so many ways now, and the blueprint is there, the case study is there, and every team is doing it. And the one team that's not stopping it is Barcelona and Hansi Flick, which I'll come to. But the first half, it was so evident how Girona was going to attack, and that's just the ball over the top, expose the right-hand side with Jaron Martin starting, and they had so many chances, but Juan Garcia made some incredible saves. But towards the end of the first half, Barcelona managed to get a penalty which is the right decision. Daley Blind clearly made contact with Dani Olmo. It was the right decision. And Rafinha had the ball. Rafinha, he grabbed the ball. I thought he was going to take it. And usually when he takes it, he scores. Rafinha, from what I remember and from what the commentator said yesterday, I didn't do a watch along, but from what the commentator said yesterday, I think he's never missed a penalty for Barcelona. But Rafinha then decided to give the ball to Lamine Yamal. And Lamine Yamal did his little aura moments, the camera moments, biting his lips, looking at the camera, gave a nice little cheeky smile when the fans were booing towards him, and he hit the woodwork. He hit the post. Barcelona missed a penalty, and the first half ended 0-0. Before I come to the second half, I want to talk about the penalty, the decision to give the ball to Lamine Yamal, because this is one of the things that we've learned from yesterday's game. I personally think the decision to give the ball to Lamine Yamal had a massive impact of what Hansi Flick said before the game. If you guys, of course, know, I was going to make a video about it, but I wanted to wait for the Girona game. And funnily enough, listen, football works in mysterious ways. Both things collided, which is what I think it did. Of course, before the game, Hansi Flick said that, for me, the best player last season for Barcelona was Rafinha. He is, of course, a massive miss, hence the reason why we're not doing well in terms of pressing, in terms of playing well, because he's missing. His absence is crucial. It's hard to fill the void of Rafinha. Basically alluding to the idea, of course, as he said in his own words, Rafinha was Barcelona's best player last season. Of course, Rafinha finished outside of the top five in the Ballon d'Or. Lamine Yamal finished second in the Ballon d'Or, highlighting that Lamine Yamal, in terms of the viewers, in terms of the Ballon d'Or voters, the journalists, the captains, whoever voted, the managers, everyone saw and viewed Lamine Yamal as the better player. But the manager of Barcelona viewed it something else. He thought that Rafinha was the better player. I understand where Hansi Flick is coming from. So I can play devil advocate here. I can understand where Hansi Flick is coming from, because he's looking at it from a GA point of view. Rafinha last season had over 55 GAs. He had this crazy amount of GAs, and that's one of them. The second thing is Rafinha last season, in every big game he scored, whether that's Bayern Munich, the hat trick, whether that's Madrid, whether that's Inter, I repeat, I'm not going to say all because I don't have every game in mind last season, but in most of the big games he scored crucial goals for Barcelona. In terms of what he does off the ball, is very much highlighted. You guys see it. Barca fans knows it themselves, like in terms of the pressing he does, in terms of usually the one-man press he does, what he does off the ball, what he does on the ball, creating the selfless runs, creating the runs that makes other players available. He does a lot for Barcelona, hence the reason why I understand why Hansi Flick would come out and say that, because his absence has been, it's hard to fill that void. Then I can understand from a Lamine point of view. Lamine Yamal is looking at him like, bro, I mean, look what I did last season. Look what I did. Look what I did for Barcelona. The games which I had, the Inter Milan games, which I absolutely carried, but I couldn't do much more than that. Look what I did to Barcelona, and then you're coming out and saying that he was better than me. So I feel like the penalty was more to. This is the way I look at it. I could be completely wrong. I could be just deep in it. I could just be going way too thing. But I thought the penalty was more to please Lamine Yamal, give the ball to Lamine Yamal, make him happy, even though in reality, Rafinha should have never given it to him. Rafinha should be taking the penalty. The fact that you gave it to Lamine Yamal, for me, I find it disrespectful, because what Rafinha's done and his penalty record, like his penalty record speaks for itself. But anyway, let's now move on to the second point. Then the second half started, and I think when I was watching the game with family, everyone knew. I think second half Barca will step up, and I think second half they will get that goal. They had the moments early on which they missed, and they managed to get the goal, of course, from Kubasi, cross from Koundé. If I remember, it was from a corner that led to Koundé crossing it afterwards, and Kubasi with a great header, 1-0 to Girona. And this is where I thought, 1-0 to Barcelona. And this is where I thought, you know what, this is where Barcelona will get the second goal, will get the third goal, something which we've seen in the second half. They wake up most of the times. That's what's going to happen. This is the script. But then they conceded a goal minutes after. Minutes after they conceded a goal, once again, ball, how the attack started, how the attack was created was the same regime, was the same scenario every time. Ball over the top, the ball got to one of the players, he crossed it, got deflected, crossed it, managed to get the ball straight away, crossed it inside, and Thomas Lamar was absolutely wide open. No one decided to man mark him, no one decided to even look at him. He was completely wide open, and Lamar scores to make it 1-1. And from there, the game was open both sides. Girona had three massive chances, which Juan Garcia made 2 saves, which I looked at and I'm like, brother, this is another thing that we learned, that Barca fans now have their Thibaut Courtois. Now I know why Barca fans were fuming with Real Madrid over the past couple of years when Thibaut was making those kind of saves, when Thibaut was saving Real Madrid. I was yesterday, and sometimes throughout the season, I was in their shoes. The Espanyol game, this game, for instance, I have now understand how they felt for the past 3-4 years with Thibaut. Fam, it's annoying when you're trying to hate watch, when you're hoping for a goal, and then the goalkeeper makes some exceptional saves. The 2 of the saves that he made in the second half, I looked at him like, brother, are you even human at this point? Like the reactions, the reflexes, the positioning in some of them, understanding where to be. Like he is incredible, absolute incredible, and how he's going to be a backup to Unai Simone at the World Cup, it is mind baffling to me. Juan Garcia 1000% saved Barcelona. I think he got the man of the match, deservedly so, because the game could have been 5-6 to Girona if it wasn't for him. But one thing which was interesting after the Thomas Lemar goal, Barca, they had moments, but the one team that looked likely to score in the second half was Girona. Girona seemed the team that could have scored more chances, had the moments, had the chances. Barca looked very much predictable, especially when Rafinha got taken off at the 62nd minute, the moment Lamar scored, because of course, Hansi Flick is trying to manage his minutes. But when he went off, and when when Rooney came on, Lewa came on, Barca looked very slow. The urgency wasn't there at certain times, and the only way you felt like they could score was give the ball to Lamine Yamal. The only way we could score, it wasn't through the left, it wasn't through the centrally, it wasn't throughout Lewa, because Lewa looked so slow, so rusty. Like, I don't know why he even came on, but it was only through Lamine. They had one moment of Balde passing it in between to Rooney. He shot first time, which got saved, but Rooney had that only one impact throughout. He tried a couple times to go between three players. There was a couple times where I felt like he forced a shot rather than passing it. Fermin didn't look at all convincing. Danny Olmo was playing a little bit deeper. Frankie tried to progress the ball, but it wasn't enough. Alfie was one of the better players of Barcelona, but it felt like it was only through Lamine in the second half. And it became predictable. It became very much predictable, which I'll come to in terms of Hansi Flick and what I think, like, a conversation, like I said in my last match review about Barcelona on my main channel, after the Athletic game, a conversation needs to be had about Hansi Flick, whether that's in-game or whether that's just overall, just everything about him. But then they managed to get a goal, the second goal, of course, which is one of the main things the main takeaways, was the decision to allow Beltran to score. Of course, Echeverri, the Man City loanee, he stepped on Koundé's foot. I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I'm going to look at it from both sides, as I usually do. And I'm going to give you my decision whether I think it should have been given or it should have been disallowed. The reason why I see some people say it should have been given, like I said, I'm playing 50-50. The reason why I say some people say it should have been given is because he made contact with the ball first. So he connected with the ball first before he connected with Koundé. Both players had the intention to go for the ball. So Echeverri wasn't aiming to hit Koundé. He wasn't aiming to connect with Koundé. It was to get the ball first. And he connected with the ball before he hit Koundé. So from that point of view, I understand why it was given. Now, from a I don't understand what's going on point of view, is that one, it wasn't checked, which I thought it was going to be checked, because I did think if it was going to be checked, then I think VAR, that the referee would have disallowed it, because he's the same referee. This is where things get interesting. He's the same referee that disallowed the same similar goal, very similar, identical goal that Barcelona had to Rayo, and Koundé being involved in it. So Koundé his goal got disallowed because of the same situation, and now he's still receiving at the end of it, and now he's not getting disallowed. So what I don't understand is why VAR didn't ask the referee to go check it, why the consistency is just not there. And this is something which I've made it a massive thing about La Liga. This is why La Liga is completely in the mud, completely in terms of ratings, in terms of respect, in terms of just the PR about La Liga is completely bad, because the referee, and there is no consistency. One referee sees one thing, another referee sees another thing. But the one thing which I don't understand is the same referee. So if you gave one thing, then surely you're gonna back up. Surely you're going to support your own decision from last year and disallow the goal. If I had to make a decision, if it was me, if it happened to my team, I would be annoyed. So for me, my decision is in goal, it should have been disallowed. I think if that happened to Real Madrid, I would be fuming. I would be absolute fuming, because I understand he made connect with the ball. He of course connected with the ball, but at the same time, brother, he took off Koundé out of the play. Yes, intentionally he didn't want to hit Koundé. That wasn't his aim, but he took Koundé out of the play. Koundé was out of the play completely. So one of my defenders is now completely out of the picture. Now is one man less for me, and now they've got a one more and one man advantage. So let's be real. Yes, he connected with the ball. He hit the ball. But at the same time, he took off the player completely. Like, Kunde was out the equation and he clearly connected with him. For me, it should have been disallowed. But this is one thing which I don't want to make it seem like. Barca still, I think, both teams had chances, by the way. Barca had chances of their own. They hit the woodwork a couple of times. Of course, they missed penalty. But Girona deserved at least 3 points from that game. The same way Barca deserved with their own chances. So if you look at it, a draw would have been the fair result because both teams had chances. But now I want to talk about Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick, for me, deserves, I keep saying this, and I will continue saying this. As I said about the high line, I've made it a known thing about the high line. You can play a high line, but you need to have the right pieces for the high line. You need to have the right players for the high line. Everyone needs to be united together in terms of the press, in terms of everything. But my brother, the high line needs to be adjusted. And this is what I look at Hansi Flick. His stubbornness is showing. His stubbornness is showing. And this is the reason why Barcelona are not second. And this is the reason why the Hansi Flick second season syndrome is showing, because his stubbornness is clearly showing when everyone knows how to attack Barcelona. Everyone knows how to attack. The blueprint is there. The case study is there. Every team is going to do it. Atleti did it. It worked. Girona did it. It worked. But by the way, those teams are not the only two teams. A lot of teams before, Barcelona has had this issue throughout this whole season. But some teams have taken advantage of it. Some teams haven't. The last two games, Girona and Atleti, they have. But there's been a lot of times this season which this high line hasn't worked out. Yes, sometimes they get it correctly with the offside traps. Great, nice, cute. But sometimes they completely don't. Sometimes I don't understand at the moments of the game, the circumstance. It's all about circumstances. It's all about moments. It's all about understanding the game. The fact that you're sticking with it for 90 minutes straight, every game, no matter what happens, away from home, at home, 10 players, 11 players, the momentums, no matter what circumstances, you're still sticking with it. Bro, you have to look at the manager and say, what's going on? Can you adapt? Can you understand? And this is why I've made it as a before. And Barca fans called me out. Concentrate on your own team. Bro, do you now agree with me? Do you share the same opinions? Or do you have your own? Or are you going to back Hansi Flick no matter what? Then I look at some of the lineup in terms of the lineup that he put out. I understand that you have to. But at one point, I'm looking at someone like Mark Bernal, who scored great confidence. That's going to help him even more. He's been on the bench about the past couple of times. I'm looking at other decisions that he's making with the in-game. I'm just looking at it. I'm like, brother, is this really the Hansi Flick second season syndrome? Is this really going to expose Barcelona this season? Because if you look at the table now, Barcelona are second. And they shouldn't be second. Because how Real Madrid is first with everything that's happened this season, with a manager sacking, with the disappointment that we've had. I can name you so many disappointments about this season. The fact that we are first is crazy. It just shows that this league, in terms of competition, is great competition, but in terms of standards, the fact that you're allowing us to be first, have some shame. Specifically, you guys, Barcelona. That is bad, but I've given you my thoughts. I've given you my perspective about the game yesterday, what I took from the game. So many things happened, but I'll see you guys today with, of course, Madrid and Benfica. But La Liga is getting interesting. Now it's in Real Madrid's hands. Now, before where we had to say we had to beat Barca at Nou Camp, now we can afford to go to Barca and get a draw. But the way Barca's playing and the way the high line has been exposed every single game, bro, every team's got a chance against Barcelona unless Hansi Flick changes it. But is he going to change it? I don't think so. But those are my thoughts. Put in our conversation what you guys made of it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon with another video. Peace.